Hi, everyone. My name is Dave Bass, the Vice President of Oracle Applications Global Support at Spinnaker Support. We'll be starting this webinar with a couple quick slides to introduce the sustaining support offering from Oracle. Once we move through these couple slides, I'll be introducing Don Bratton from Starkey, a Spinnaker Support customer, and we'll discuss the relationship between the two companies and the experience Starkey has had over the last few years with Spinnaker Support. So let's get started. Sustaining support continues to be a very expensive proposition, with the support cost maintaining at 22% of your license fees, as well as continued increases each year. For these continued high levels of support fees, Oracle limits dramatically what your organization will receive under sustaining support. A few major releases noted here have recently moved to sustaining support within the Oracle ecosphere. Under sustaining support, you won't receive the following items. Number one, no new software updates to the version under sustaining support. You're only entitled to pre-existing patches and bug fixes. Number two, no new security patches, which can leave your system vulnerable in the years to come. Number three, no new tax and regulatory updates. You only get access to existing patches. And number four, no new certifications to third-party integrated products. Previous releases of Oracle systems can be more expensive for Oracle to support, so Oracle wants to continue to push their customers to be on the latest versions of their software, even if it isn't within a customer's IT strategic roadmap. Oracle continues to push their customers to upgrade through various tactics, including the previously mentioned increase in support fees. But it isn't just the support fees, which have significant cost implications to an organization. Upgrades can be very expensive for organizations to complete, as they include, number one, external and internal resources to complete projects which can take months and years to complete. Number two, potential downtime for critical transactional systems. And number three, rewriting custom code and integrations. And at the end of the project, it can result in a very limited enhancements in functionality that an organization actually implements in their system. These upgrade projects can seem never-ending for an organization to meet Oracle demands. But there is another option to break from the Oracle-dictated upgrade cycle and allow your organization to decide the next steps in your IT roadmap. Spinnaker third-party support can save you on average 62% off your support costs while extending the life of your legacy products, allowing the reallocation of resources and money to other strategic initiatives, and all while Spinnaker Support provides a higher level of support services. Spinnaker is able to offer better support without these increasing support fees. We are a service delivery company focused on support and not trying to fund future development initiatives like Oracle Cloud. A wonderful example of a company who was able to take control of their Oracle EBS upgrade decisions while leveraging Spinnaker support is Starkey. Starkey has partnered with Spinnaker to support their 12.1.3 EBS application since 2018. I'm thrilled to be joined by Don Bratton, Starkey's Manager of Application Development, to share his experience with Spinnaker support. Don, welcome to the webinar, and thank you for joining me to talk about your experience with Spinnaker support.
Dave, thanks for the invitation to join with you today and be able to tell your folks about how Spinnaker has helped us move forward.
So back in 2018, you had a highly customized Oracle EBS 12.1.3 system, and you didn't have the internal resources to effectively support it and couldn't get that from Oracle. Tell us about those early days in the Spinnaker partnership and what it was like to onboard with us, and how your team came together to resolve one of your most urgent first issues.
Onboarding was a challenge because it was a shift in the paradigm for us. It was a shift of a new model which we were introducing to our team, and so it was really getting everyone to think who could support us better than what Oracle can do, which we challenged, and we're challenged by our leadership. But as we made that decision to move forward, we onboarded very quickly in order to save the licensing costs that we were looking for renewals. It was, let's get this done, and let's get this done quickly. And so we did. And which maybe was a good thing because we ushered ourselves into a new support model very quickly. So the emotion was removed and we could just step forward with this. And I think Spinnaker really stepped up shortly after we started the engagement. We ran into a very difficult production issue that we had, which brought us down for about 3 days because of some changes that had happened within the system. And the Spinnaker team stepped in right away. They were like, what can we do? What do you need from us? Not knowing our environment, not understanding really fully what was going on, but functionally they got it. And so they were able to stand in the place where normally my team would have stood in. And just to leave with an example, when we finally had gotten to the end of our last changes that we needed to implement to be able to get our systems back online, it was about 11 o'clock at night, and the Spinnaker team was up there with us, and they said, okay, we need this done. And normally my team would have been taking that over to get the work done. And the Spinnaker team took it over, and they said, okay, we'll see you guys at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And so what happened from Thursday to Saturday was Spinnaker's getting involved, getting in the middle of the problem, and really working to be, shouldered up right beside us as though they had been here all along. And so it helped us to resolve an issue that was a really hard thing for us to get to fix, but with their help, we were able to get it done, and it saved on my team, which was really important as well.
That's such a great story of those early days. Since EBS 1213 is now on sustaining support, what can folks in the audience in a similar situation at Starkey expect to receive from Spinnaker that they are probably not getting from Oracle support?
Well, I think one of the things that is really important to draw attention to is you've got analysts that want to get to know your system, and our people get to know the analysts that Spinnaker brings, because you assemble a team that works with them. And with Oracle, as good as their people are for what they can do, you never know who you're going to get to work with. And my team really has gotten to know the Spinnaker team. They know what they can bring. They know what they can do. They want to genuinely learn our system. We've extended a lot of our applications, and so it's not only Oracle's code that they're looking at. It's not only what Oracle's done, but it's what we've done as well. And so they've been able to embrace that in ways that, I got to be honest, I didn't know how they would, because I thought my team was the best ones that could support what it is that we have done. But they have really, stood in the gap and been able to, to help us out as well and provide solutions where we could hand it off to them and we can go work on other important things until they've figured it out, and then we collaborate and bring it forward. So that, I think, is that high touch that they bring with this is something which is has been very freeing for our team.
That's wonderful to hear. We've been working and partnering together now for 5 years, and it's typical in that amount of time to have some organizational or leadership changes. So I'm curious how Spinnaker has been able to support you, provide some business continuity for you. Any experience around that the last few years?
Well, I think that's continuity is a key word, because we've had some leadership changes, we've had some organizational changes. It's going to happen with every organization, but they've been able to help be that rock, if you would, in the midst of this, because that team our Spinnaker team really hasn't changed much, and that has been very valuable for us as we've seen people come and people go, to where I have not lost that knowledge. I'm not just a heartbeat away from being able to get something done. And because the knowledge is there, and your team has been, committed to doing that and committed to supporting that all along.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So now as Starkey is moving through the different life cycle to versions you've decided that meet your strategic roadmap on your timeline, and your support needs are changing, how has your engagement with Spinnaker evolved, and how do you expect it to continue to evolve?
I think, Dave, to be honest with you, as we move, yes, we have desires to move part of our systems to the Oracle Cloud, part of it through the upgrade to 12.2 and beyond, for reasons that we've deemed that we need to, but we're not there yet. Business reasons and have prevented us yet from being able to get there. So, but we've redefined our relationship because we figure there's now a more flexible model that we need to employ. So we believe that your team, for until we are where we've defined that we want to be, your team is definitely going to be a part of us ongoing until we get there, which is I think for some time yet to come.
No, that's terrific. I know our team loves working with your team also, so I think everybody will be very happy to hear that. And finally, what advice would you give to companies out there who are just learning about third-party support and maybe entering into conversations with Spinnaker Support?
I would recently had this conversation with a colleague of mine who used to work here at Starkey and is now in a similar role. And my advice to her was, you need to be open-minded about this type of a model. You need to, we were very protective when we had this introduced to us. It was, frankly, we just didn't want to do it. But as what we have learned was, once you understand it, once you and see how this can help you out, it's been a fabulous thing for us to be open and engaged with. So I think open-mindedness and the art of possibility, as far as how you can support your systems going forward, how you can support for your organization, and obviously in this time right now, there's a financial gain around with that. But the financial gain is one thing, but the confidence in knowing that I've got a team that is invested in me, invested in what we do, and is really an extension of our on-site team that we have here, is so very, very valuable and very important to us.
That's terrific, Don, and I want to thank you again for taking the time on our webinar today. We really appreciate it, and looking forward to the future partnering with Starkey.
Thanks, Dave.